Hi friends. Welcome to educatwork. In this video we talk about number and Boolean data types. Firstly, we see the answer of the string data types questions, and then we start with numbers and Boolean. Question is this. Now let's solve this. It's say the word is Python and we have to print the first two character of Python, and then last two character. Now make variable names str1, and assign Python and then using slicing, type str1:2, this will print pi. Because second number is not included. Hence, it print the index number 0 and 1. Now for last two character, we can done by two method. Like, str14:, and, using negative number, like, str1-1:-3. Now let's talk about the integer and float. In Python, integers are 0, positive or negative whole numbers without a fractional part, whereas floating point numbers, float, are positive and negative real numbers with a fractional part denoted by the decimal symbol. There aren't many differences between them. The operations we can perform on them are the same, and, as we will see, Python converts integer to floats automatically, when an operation results in a number with decimals. So let's create two variables, one called n1. Let's assign an integer, so 8, and another n2. We have another integer. We get the type of those variables. Let's try with n1, as we can see it's an integer. Now I'm going to create a new variable, and divide n1 by n2, and now the result has decimals. And if we get the type of the variable, it's a float. So as you see, those types can work together, so most of the times you don't have to worry whether your variable is an integer or a float. Python will take care of it. Some programming languages don't even make that distinction, like JavaScript, where there is only one data type called number. Now something important that I want to say is that, we not use comma to separate, we use decimals. Be careful, we must only use that. Okay, so let's change the value of n1. For example, we can't write number like this. So what operations can we do with numbers? We already know the basic operations. Now, we know that we can use the plus sign to sum those numbers, we can use the dash to make a subtraction, / for division, and the asterisk for multiplication. There is also an interesting operator, which is the Modulus Operator, represented by the %sign. Don't worry, we talk about operators in further videos. If I do this, 7 modulus 4, the result is 3, it returns the remainder, which is 3. This can be useful in some situations like figuring out if a number is even or odd. So, if we get any even number and make modulus 2, it's always going to return 0 because there will be no remainder in the division. But if we get any odd number and do the same, the result is always going to be 1. We also talked about using parentheses to define the hierarchy of our operations. So, we could do something like 2 plus 2. So it's going to make the sum first. We can use as many parentheses as we want, it's going to solve 2 plus 2. And then it's going to divide by 3. And only then it's going to divide by 4. So, those are the basic math operations we can do with numbers. Complex number. A complex number is a number with real and imaginary components. For example, 7 plus 9j is a complex number where 7 is the real component, and 9 multiplied by j is an imaginary component. Make variable a equals 7 plus 9j. Now check the type of this variable a. Type A. Showing class complex. We must use j or j as complex, otherwise it show error. As if we write a equals 7 plus 9k, then it will return error. Boolean. Now talk about Boolean data types. Boolean values are the two constant objects true and false. They are used to represent truth values. So let's create a new variable called myBoolean1, and let's assign a keyword called true. Pay attention because we have to use it. If we can use quotation marks like this, all we are doing is creating a string. That's not what we want. So if we do this and we get the type of the variable, we can see that the type is Boolean. We also have the false value. Why do we need true or false values? Well, this is one of the most important things in programming. All the logic of our programs will be based on those values. But what we just did manually, assigning true or false values to a variable, is not very useful actually. Those values are going to be generated when we make comparisons. So let's create two variables n1 equals 8 and n2 equals 5. Now let's compare them, so I'll just put n1, and I'm going to check if the value assigned to this variable is greater than the value assigned to number 2. So this is the greater than sign. If we do this, it returns true, because yes, 8 is greater than 5. So let's do the opposite. Now, let's ask if n1 is less than n2, and now it returns false. Further operations, we will discuss on operator video, and also the main use of Boolean in programming. Now that we know the basics of numbers and Boolean, now here's the questions. Q. Solve this. 2. 9/4 plus 74 4 times 5/5/2. So friends, if you enjoy this video, please like and share as much as you can, and subscribe our channel. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.